Hi, Margaret.
Hi, Mr. Walker.
How's it going?
Good, I guess.
Yeah, I know you've got a lot of work going on still, right?
Yeah, it's kind of funny because AP exam week is kind of coming up soon. So basically, all my AP classes are like
Freaking
complete.
out.
Well, yeah, like they're all assigning practice exams in the same week.
Yeah, of
So
course. Right.
I've been doing like practice exam after practice exam for the past 48 hours.
One thing I want you to know that I didn't quite realize is that when I log on like this, this class begins recording. So
Yeah.
usually, if kids ever have to watch, they probably fast forward through things. But just an FYI, I didn't actually realize that, but they kind of start up. What do you mind sharing? What APs you're taking?
I'm taking BC Calculus, Computer Science. I think there's another one. I'm trying to remember.
Okay, got you.
Yeah, I don't even know. It's quite a few.
Any language AP?
No, I'm not taking any languages this year. I only did 2 years of Spanish, and I was like, I'm done with this. Not going to do it anymore.
Gotcha. Do you do any other MSON classes, or is everything through online high school?
No, this is the only MSON class I'm taking this year. I think I'm going to take multivariable with MSON next year. So
Yeah,
that should be cool.
You'll like Mr. Spraggins. He's good.
Yeah, I saw a lot of good reviews about him. So.
Where do you see the reviews? I didn't know.
RateMyProfessor.com, I think.
Oh, okay. Got you.
Yeah, he got a lot of good reviews, so.
Okay.
I was like, this is the place to go.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm not really a huge fan of the math division at the OHS.
Yeah.
They're interesting people.
Yeah, it can be a hit and miss thing sometimes.
Yeah, it's kind of funny how I have to argue with them. Like, they're like, you should take this placement exam, make sure that you're ready for this course. I'm like, I've taken all of the stuff previous to this. I should be ready, and you can't stop me, you know?
Yeah.
So. And they have limitations on how many classes you can take there. Like, they usually don't let people take more than 5 or 6. They just don't think that it's humane and that people are just kind of killing themselves if they do anything more than that. And
Right.
people complain about it. They're like, well, what if I really want to take 7 classes and I think I'm really capable of it? And they think that the OHS is holding them back somehow. But I said, there's other places to take classes. You can take as many classes as you want anywhere. So,
Yeah.
I don't know. So I've been doing computer science, sort of both BC Calc and computer science, kind of self-studied basically for both exams. So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah. Got you. Let me pay attention to what I've got to do here. Fort Worth Country Day looks like they'll be popping in soon. There they are. Hey, Fort Worth Country Day, how you guys doing?
Good. How are you?
Good to see you guys. Willie, what you doing at the board? Some good art?
Just doodling.
Nice. Impressive stuff there.
I believe that's a picture of Chad.
Yeah, I'm looking for trousers.
Hey, you can never get enough trousers, so definitely worth your while to look.
I think it's good.
Let's see. I'm realizing that I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna unplug here so I can check my email real quickly for 2 things. I gotta get Olivia's presentation loaded up. Hey, Maya.
Hi.
I can mute you.
But why?
I'm not. No, I just wanted to know if I could. Keep going.
I can turn it off.
Drop the volume down just a. Yeah, that's better. So we can hear it. Hey, Maya. Do
Yeah.
you have any music that's going to play while your presentation's going, or no? Okay. And you're going to talk us through the slides, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Maya, do you know? Can you hear me? Okay. Do you know the one of the YouTube videos for this song? Do you know there are probably multiple. That's why I say one. There's one where the actress they're squirting water. Do you know that one?
For sale?
Yeah.
No, I only know the one. That's the one from the band, the official one, where he's like in a house and he gets like abducted by aliens.
All right. So I don't know that one. Watch the one that I just know there are two females acting it out, and one of them's got a hose while the other does some funny facial things to it. It's got it's locked in my brain. It's pretty funny.
Okay.
Watch it sometime.
Okay.
We'll see if we have time to find it before class starts here.
Probably can. I'll find it.
All
I'll
right.
look for it.
Let's see.
What are we trying to find?
A video for sale by AWOL Nation. That's not the official video.
Have you guys seen the Sale Cat video?
Yes.
Wait, which one?
It's
called
the Sale Cat.
Oh, it's this one, Maya, the one that I've got
Okay, I
loaded up.
found it.
All right, cool. All right. Not the ad, but.
Yeah, I got
So
it.
anyway, in some point, enjoy that.
Caress presents a
Zombie, you're looking spiffy.
Thank you.
Some of it, zoom in so we can see more of you.
All right, will do.
What are you dressed up for today?
Since I go to an Episcopalian school, we had our Easter chapel thing today.
Oh, okay. Yeah, looking good, man.
Thank you. Thank you.
Tighten that video in a little more if you don't mind, just so we can fill the frame
I
with you.
don't mind, but please give me a moment to set up.
Yeah.
I'll
Of
tighten it
course.
up.
Where are the trousers? That's Chad. That's Chad looking for
Yep.
trousers.
That is.
That's trousers. Oh my god.
Airplane's like Did you get my email about the?
Get my reply.
Ask me that in about 30 seconds.
Yeah. Yeah, you're not gonna love the reply.
On all of them?
Yeah.
Really?
You'll see why tonight.
I thought two of them were stretched. I thought. Oh no, I thought.
Oh. Man. So You may be able to
Okay, well, this one is a front.
Which one? The belladonna?
That's a front. So, okay, I'll do some quick research right now.
You got 3 minutes.
Honestly, that was very unclear from the...
What did it say? Just natural
This is
poison?
natural poisons.
What chapters are we going over today and disappearing?
Some of it, I don't think we will today because we have so many presentations. So I
But
don't
for
think
next
we'll have
time.
time for that. Thanks for checking.
Alright, but for next time, what chapters?
So I don't think we'll get to it today.
There's still a lot of people.
No, I'm saying like next Monday.
We're going to have a priority of getting through our presentation, so I'm not sure then either.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay, thanks.
Mr. Walker,
Yeah.
if we get a moment ever, can we talk about? I'm just really curious to see where all the seniors are going to college, because everyone should have heard back from their schools by now. So I'm just wondering if we can talk about that eventually.
Yeah, I
Do it
think
now.
that'd be a fun thing to ask. Yeah, now's a good time if people are willing to share. Sometimes that's a touchy subject, but if people want to, they're certainly welcome to. Anybody want to share?
University of Texas. That's Joel. Chad. What are you doing?
I don't know where I'm going yet, but
Is that a bomb?
somewhere.
Where are you guys accepted to?
Going to Stanford.
Alright.
Okay.
I'm
So did
either
any-
going to.
All right, go ahead.
What?
Who's answering? Is this Casey?
Oh,
We can't
yeah,
see you,
it's
Casey, because the pictures are taking up all that. All right, but anyway,
Oh.
so Casey's talking. Go ahead, Casey.
I'm either going to Purdue or Davidson, I think.
Nice.
Nice.
I'm going to
I'm
Colby
considering
in Maine.
Davidson for next year.
Say again, some of
What's
it.
on that?
I'm considering going to Davidson for. I'm considering applying to Davidson next year.
Oh, okay. Got it.
So.
It's a really cool school. I like it.
Okay.
All right. I
And
think
then-
we have 2:15, so I'm going to go ahead and try to get us started here. Let me see. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I'm missing 2. Olivia, who should be here today, and who else am I missing? Robin emailed me that there may be an issue with him today, so let me address this. So today's 4/9/15, and right now I'm missing Olivia, and I do anticipate she'll make it, and Robin, but I want to try to be timely and get started, and so at some point we can continue the thing that Maya started with is if folks want to share what college they're into, that'd be a great thing.
Casey.
Oh, that was Casey that said that. Sorry. Yeah, I couldn't. It was weird. I couldn't see who was talking, but I. All right, Sambit, you want to say something?
Yeah, just a quick question. On Monday, I'll be on the road, so should I just phone in for class?
Yeah, that's great. So someone will be
Okay.
driving, and you can come in on your phone. That'd be awesome. Thanks, Sambit. Yeah.
Okay. I'm just wondering because since I won't be in place, I'm thinking how do I connect? And I'm just like, okay, I guess that'll
So
work.
yeah, you'll do it from your phone, and that'd be great. So we appreciate your flexibility
Like call
on being
in?
able to do. Yeah, let me make a note to try to make sure if there's anything odd. But I've seen people do it before, so I know it can be done. I'm writing myself a question, but yeah, it should be one of the options is to call in. There's a number to call when you go into Blue Jeans. So how to log in through phone. All right, thank you for that question. So I want to go ahead and get started. Our first presenter is Maya. And if you guys could open the email I sent you, you should see that she is the first one on the list, and then she's got a Neuroscience of Music PowerPoint. If you could all open that, and then if folks could let me know once they have that open, I'm going to open it up as well. And then Maya's going to present to us live in class today. So I'm just going to go to slideshow, play from start. And, oh, there's Olivia. Yay, you made it, Olivia. Welcome to class.
Hi, I had some trouble with my computer, so
Okay.
but it's good.
It looks like you're coming in from home today.
Yeah.
Okay, good. You're still on spring break, is that right?
Mhm.
All right, thanks for coming in from home. And Maurice and Chandler, I don't think I said hi to you. Good, hi guys, welcome. So let's go ahead and could I get thumbs up once people are ready for Maya's presentation? I see. Margaret, I can't tell. Are you good? No, you're not good yet. Okay. And Maya, are you good?
Yeah.
Yeah. Fort Worth, you guys good? Fort Worth ready? Sumvith, that's a thumbs down, so we're waiting on you now. Okay. Anybody that's good on that, if you can also maybe start a load up of Olivia's, that may take a little longer, and then you could flip back to just having Maya's ready while that loads. Olivia's may be a little more intensive on the load up speed. Sumvith, is that a thumb up now? Okay, so I think we're all ready. So let me just make sure in terms of slides. I'm not in present view though. Why am I not in present view? Oh, it's presenting up there. Okay, Maya, so when you're ready, we'll let you go.
Okay. Sorry, Mr. Gleason just walked in and distracted everything.
Man, that guy, I tell you, right? Okay.
Okay, so hi everyone. This is my presentation on the neuroscience of music, just because I play a lot of music and something I'm really interested in. So next slide. Okay, so to start, this is just a short video, a small section of it from a TED Talk as like an intro to it. So just click play.
Maybe try
If
clicking.
you mouse over it, the play button should appear in like the bottom left. No, of the video.
Oh yeah.
There it is. Thank you. All right.
I don't know why my thing doesn't.
Did you know that every time musicians pick up their instruments, there are fireworks going off all over their brain? On the outside, they may look calm and focused, reading the music and making the precise and practiced movements required. But inside their brains, there's a party going on. How do we know this? Well, in the last few decades, neuroscientists have made enormous breakthroughs in understanding how our brains work by monitoring them in real time with instruments like fMRI and PET scanners. When people are hooked up to these machines, tasks such as reading or doing math problems each have corresponding areas of the brain where activity can be observed. But when researchers got the participants to listen to music, they saw fireworks. Multiple areas of their brains were lighting up at once as they processed the sound, took it apart to understand elements like melody and rhythm, and then put it all back together into a unified musical experience.
Okay, next slide. So expanding on the musical fireworks that the video talked about, one thing that's really special about playing an instrument is that it uses almost every part of the brain at once. It especially encourages activity in the visual, auditory, and motor cortices. And disciplined practice of an instrument, it has shown to strengthen these skills and other brain functions and allow them to be applied to other activities outside of music. So music also happens to trigger activity in the nucleus accumbens, which is kind of like the brain's reward center. And this nucleus has a huge involvement in the processing of motivation, pleasure, reward, and reinforcement learning, which also means that it actually has a significant involvement in addiction. So because of the increased activity in this part of the brain, it releases dopamine, which is, you guys all know, the neurotransmitter that helps control pleasure. So dopamine is usually released at points of peak enjoyment, such as eating candy, getting money, shooting drugs, or having sex, I saw. And some studies have shown that dopamine levels actually go up as much as 9% when people enjoyed the music that they were listening to. Music also activates the amygdala, I don't know if I said that right, which is involved with the processing of emotion, as well as areas of the prefrontal cortex, which are involved in abstract decision making. So another thing about playing an instrument is that it requires fine motor skills, which uses both hemispheres of the brain, because it requires the mathematical precision of the left hemisphere and the creativity and emotional execution of the right. This increases activity in the corpus callosum, which serves as a bridge between the two hemispheres and allows the messages to get across the brain faster and through more ways. There's also a correlation that shows that this may allow musicians to solve problems more quickly and more creatively, both academically and socially. So as well with all the technical expertise that comes with being a musician, music also requires a lot of emotional execution and phrasing to convey whatever the piece is trying to convey. So this emotional analysis can lead musicians to have higher levels of planning, strategizing, and attention to detail. It also has an impact on memory systems, leading musicians to have higher levels of memory functions. Next slide. Okay. Oh, that's actually a picture of my music school, and I'm in the far left, if anyone is curious. So it seems like every month there's a new article on some study about how music is good for your kids, and making your baby listen to Mozart is going to make them a little genius. So while that's not the case, music education still has its benefits. So first off, music education facilitates learning in other disciplines, and because it requires tapping into multiple skill sets, and like I said before, it uses nearly every part of your brain, from the deep analytical processes to the more abstract creative ones. So in addition to just strengthening your brain with these other disciplines, learning an instrument can help boost your social and personal skills. So like, you can learn teamwork, as it is essential to work together with your ensemble to produce a piece of music, because you can't do the whole thing by yourself. And one thing it's taught me is perseverance, because it takes years and years and years and years to get even okay at something. Also, I just think, side note, it makes you like more classically and historically rounded, because like music itself is history, and these pieces wouldn't have survived centuries if there wasn't an important reason that they were written or what they were written about. So they can teach you things. It's also been proven that learning music can help kids with their language development, as it helps enhance the natural ability of decoding sounds and words. And you can actually see language skills getting stronger in the brain, because the part of the left hemisphere that is involved with processing language will actually look more developed and will wire the brain's circuits in a certain way. Also, linking familiar songs and pieces will help imprint new information that can then be associated with that song. The statistics also really support the idea that music education is beneficial. I found some stats. I'm going to assume they're for public school, by the way they sound. And schools with music programs have significantly higher graduation rates, 90.2% as opposed to 72.9%. Higher attendance rates, 93.3 as opposed to 84.9. And they scored higher on standardized tests, and they continue to perform non-music students on the SAT. Next slide. So this is a relatively new form of therapy, where music is used in a therapeutic sense to address physical, emotional, and cognitive and social needs of people. So music has been used as a form of healing and therapy for centuries, all the way back to the Greek gods of Apollo, who was the god of music and medicine, and Aesculapius, who was a lesser Greek god, but he was known for curing mental diseases with music and song. There's a quote there from Lori Kubasek, who is a music therapist at Massachusetts General Hospital for Children. And she says, physiologically and neurologically, music therapy is processed throughout your entire brain. It has this really great power on healing, both emotional healing, physical healing, and social healing. So what I took this as is that your brain can only perceive 100% of any one thing. So for example, pain. So if you distract and focus your attention on something else, it can actually diminish the intensity of the unpleasant thing. Studies have also shown that music therapy can help patients respond better to the other treatment they are receiving. For example, it can help stabilize heart rate, blood pressure, and vital signs. Also, it's been shown to help people battling anxiety and depression by manipulating the auditory environment and in turn manipulating the patient's imagery, memories, and associations and mood. It can help soothe these people. And just one last perk of the treatment is that it can take away some of the scariness and uncertainty of being in a hospital, especially for children and people who are in long term, because coming in with instruments and things that are fun to play are a lot more attracting than like machines and medicine that are scary and painful. And it's like a social outlet so that they have somewhere to focus their feelings and get something positive out of otherwise negative thing. So, next slide. Okay. So, important points to get from this whole thing. All of this is a relatively new science that's just starting to be studied deeply, but the benefits have already started to make themselves known. Everything from working out your brain both mathematically and analytically to creatively and emotionally can be achieved through music, and in turn makes a more in tune and overall more intelligent person. It's already been shown that music education over many years does lead to more successful students academically, and although it is very teen angsty to say that music is therapy and an escape, it's completely true, and it's now a whole separate branch of therapy that's helping sick people every day. Next slide. Okay. This is a quote I found, and it's called, "Music is inextricably linked with our deepest reward systems." So regardless of whether or not you play an instrument or sing or listen to country or rock or punk or anything, it's good for you, and it's a reward for your brain and your body. Thanks. That's also me playing oboe on that slide. Yeah. That's it.
I'll just click forward to your references.
Yeah, that's my sources.
All right, let's give it up for Maya. All right, thank you, Maya. Questions? First is going to come from Chad. Chad, take it away.
Yeah, all right, I have two questions. First of all, great presentation. My first question is, in what ways does music potentially improve cognitive function?
I do not know the specifics of that.
Okay.
Wait. You do,
Okay.
Maya.
Okay.
You're selling yourself short. So, Maya, the question is, how does it improve cognitive function, which is basically thinking? So you know an answer to that. I think you're lacking confidence in yourself. So give your best answer to the question. I know you know the answer to this.
Did I say it?
Yes, you've said it multiple times. Cognitive function just means how our brain works, how we think.
It uses your entire brain. Yeah, there you go.
How else made it? His question is, how does it improve cognitive function? So, how does it make our brain work better, faster, more
improves
efficiently?
your language skills.
Yeah,
the correlation between the statistics and stuff. Your fine motor skills. Okay.
All right, good. See, don't sell yourself short. You know the answer to this.
Yeah.
You're the professional here. All right, Chad, go ahead.
All right. Bottom line, what I have is that it's simply music makes you feel better, and we simply perform better when we feel better. And that was the answer I had. So it's
I think she's lived that through the presentation. Yeah. So Maya, you got that. You're good. You just didn't have confidence in yourself. All right. Who else has got a question for Maya? Let's get some hands up here. Good. Joel. Yeah, Joel. Joel, you guys are gonna mess with me. All right, go ahead.
We always sit in the same spot.
I know, right? I should figure that out.
We should
Go
switch
ahead,
seats.
Joel.
So you talked about like how that one part of the brain is linked to addiction. Would that like have any effect with songs getting stuck in our head, or did you like find anything out about what makes a song get stuck in your head?
I didn't find anything specifically about songs getting stuck in your head, or that it has to, or but what I've heard, I don't think it has anything to do with that. I was actually having a conversation about this with my crew coach like yesterday, and I don't know. It's something about songs get stuck in your head when you don't know the entire song or something, but I don't think it has anything to do with that part of the brain and stuff. But don't quote me on that.
Mm-hmm. Other questions for Maya? Margaret.
Okay, hopefully you guys can hear me. I'm trying
Yes.
the spacebar thing again. Okay. So Maya, I was wondering if, I know you didn't necessarily specify this in the presentation, but do you know if, depending on the type of music, like if I play piano, does that affect me neurologically different than if you were playing the oboe or the guitar or something?
No, it doesn't. It doesn't at all. From what I've found, the instrument itself doesn't affect it, but more just learning theory and learning an instrument through discipline and perseverance, whatever else, is what affects it, not so much the instrument.
Samvit?
While music therapy has existed for a very long time, according to this presentation, I'd like to know how modern music therapy emerged and in what context it came out in its modern iteration.
It's fairly modern. A lot of schools still don't offer it as a major. As modern as I've found, I want to say the 90s, but again, that might not be true. I don't know where it came out of.
Like when I say where it came out of, I mean like what was the context of it being used? Like is somebody suffering from like an autism or something? I don't know.
I really don't know how it became like a thing in itself as a scheduled like therapy session, but people have been going in forever to just play music and like be around patients and stuff. So I guess it comes from that, but like, yeah.
Okay. I'm going to cut us a little short. Maya's presentation was on the long side, and obviously it was good and all that. So I know there may be other questions. If there are further questions, we may have to email them to the group. I'm going to ask people to go ahead and load up Olivia's presentation, please, so that we are ready to go on that one. And sorry, give a nice final round of applause to Maya for that presentation.
So I apologize. I did not realize I have a 2:50 dismissal for tennis, which will be fine for Olivia's. But
so let's see. Olivia's is it's an online, it's a YouTube thing, so it should be a fast load up for you guys.
My presentation
Whoops.
today stars poisons found in nature.
Stop. All right. So poisons in nature. Once you're ready for that, give me a yell out. So let's see. Looking for thumbs up. Fort Worth. I can't tell you guys. Are you guys set? Okay. Fort Worth's ready. Samvit. Your thumb is. There it is. Good. So I'm going to be playing it on this end with sound, but if you guys do, I guess you may have your own sound and your own thing going, and we'll do a 3, 2, 1 countdown. It looks like everybody's ready.
Mute this, or are we gonna?
Should I play it through my system? Do people think or not? No. Okay. I'm going to mute. We'll all be playing it simultaneously, so I'll do a 3, 2, 1 countdown. So let's all begin. 3, 2, 1. Start them up.
Nature.
All right. Let me stop. Oh, this is a different video.
React.
Shut up. How did that happen?
It was just like the next video.
Oh, because it's the next video. Okay. So I believe our first question is from, say again, Max. So take it away, Max.
So Olivia, great presentation. I want to apologize because basically all my questions were centered around arsenic, which Mr. Walker told, even though it was all I had was natural poison. So I am sorry. I'll give you a few different questions because they're just kind of obscure.
Okay.
My first question would be, what was the use? You talked about the futuristic use for more snake venom, but for some poisonous plants, they were used before they were truly understood. A few poisonous plants, specifically the belladonna, was used in the Victorian area of England. Do you know what it was used for?
To treat some sort of maybe like infection or something.
It was used as a cosmetic by women because it made their faces paler and if they put enough on their cheeks red. But that was obscure. I'll try it here. I'll give you another one because I came up with these questions right before class because I didn't know until then. Could you name 3 different fruits that are commonly eaten on like a day-to-day basis that have a poisonous pit or seed?
Aren't apple seeds poisonous?
Yeah.
And I mean, I know that rhubarb leaves are poisonous. I know it's not a fruit, but I know that those are poisonous. And is like the pit of like a peach poisonous?
Yep. That works.
Okay.
All right, we're going to give the points to to Olivia for that, and good attempts, Max. Yeah. All right, who else has got some questions? Sambit, thank you.
Organic chemistry question. In the slide titled "Common Poisonous Plants," there's a chemical diagram. Turn to time marker 242.
I got it. I'm posting it.
What does the R group stand for?
I think, I mean, I'm not 100% sure, but I think that's like the kind of like the arbitrary group because not all Uroshiles are the same. So like it depends on the geographical location. So like the ones in like the western side of the United States are different than the ones on the East Coast. So it depends on the location.
Yeah, and Olivia, luckily for you, we brought in 2 experts on organic chemistry, Margaret and Max. So Max is going to agree with you, but go ahead, Max.
She's basically correct. It's just an arbitrary group. Generally, I mean, the whatever, it's like a uracil group, I guess is what it would be. It basically just, it sticks on to some other molecule, generally in what I've seen, like a carbon chain or something, and sticks on and becomes just a part of that and kind of alters the identity of that strand, but it's basically just any arbitrary molecule change.
Yeah, so class, that's an example of a great question from Sambit. Thank you, Sambit. And I knew 2 of you already knew that as we went through. So who else has got a question now? If I'm having a hard time with Fort Worth Country Day, I can only see 2 of you well, and I see Margaret has her hand up, but I'm waiting to see if other hands go up. Maya, good. I want to ask you, go ahead.
So this might have nothing to do with what you studied. It could be something completely different. But do you happen to know why some people, when they touch poison ivy, just flat out don't get poison ivy? Is it genetics, or does it have something to do with just...
No, I mean, I don't know. I was going to look into that, but I didn't. I focused more on like the animals, I guess. But I think it's probably, I don't know if it's genetic. I think it's just maybe... I mean, I don't know. Maybe it could be genetic. I don't know.
Okay.
It's a good question. Willie.
How come how come dogs can eat or like can't eat chocolate or like grapes also, but like humans can eat it with pretty much no like consequences at all?
It's probably like the proteins or like the enzymes that are found in these like different substances, I guess, and like humans have the ability to digest and like break down the compounds and everything, but maybe like dogs can't. For example, like with the chocolate or grapes or whatever. And I know like I think that it's like onion or something is bad for dogs as well, and I think that's because of the makeup of like the kind of like the texture of the onion itself. So I'm not really sure.
Good question. Other questions? Chandler, and then Maurice after him. Go ahead.
This is going back to the dart frogs. You talked about their poison can possibly be used as a painkiller, and then you said that they also could cause paralysis. I was wondering, where's the difference lie between the being paralyzed and then also the painkiller? Where's that difference come in?
Well, the painkiller is like they synthesize it, so it's not like actually the poison, but it's a compound that's similar. It's like based on the structure of the poison. And I would assume, because I don't know 100%, but I would assume that it's the way that they have synthesized it made it so it targets kind of probably the area of pain, like what the source of the pain, so that it can like kind of like mute that pain in a way. Since it will cause like paralysis, then that same function could probably be applied to like a nerve ending or something.
Okay, so I think we were going to Maurice next, and then we'll go to Sumvith, and then maybe Margaret. Go ahead, Maurice. Max has to leave class for a tennis match, so go ahead, though, Sumvith. Oh, sorry, Maurice. I'm sorry, Maurice is up.
Okay, yeah, Olivia, I had a question regarding the poisonous frog. I was wondering what type of pathways do the poisons take in order to, I guess, cause death? Or is it a neurotoxin, or does it go through other pathways?
Yeah, it's a neurotoxin, but I mean, you absorb it through your skin. And I don't know exactly how it will transmit it, but it will transmit that signal to the brain. It will target the brain essentially, and so then that will control like your central nervous system, which will like it will shut down basically. And I think, yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the one with the poison dart frogs.
Actually, sorry. Go ahead. There's a follow up.
Yeah, I guess does it work? So I guess it works in a similar way to snake venom.
Yeah. I think, well, like with poison dart frogs, I don't know. I don't think that I'm messing up the type of poison, but I know, like I said, that snakes typically have, there's like 3 different types of venoms. So like the ones that target your like central nervous system, your muscles, and like your brain, I think. So, yeah.
Okay, thank you. Yeah.
I don't know if that really answered your question. But.
I'm going to go to Casey next because she hasn't had a chance to ask a question yet. So Casey, go ahead.
I was wondering if there was a major difference if between a poison and a venom, because poisons are not fundamentally, but poisons are absorbed through the skin and venom is injected. And I was just wondering if they work in inherently different ways or if they all work the same way. And if it matters at all that one's absorbed and one's injected.
Yeah, I think it matters in that, you're gonna have a different reaction in a way. So like with the plants, I mean, it depends on like what poisons we're talking about or venoms or whatever, but like with the plants, you absorb it through your skin, and like with the urushiol, it's an oil. But then the venom, actually, in some snakes, it's like a modified like saliva. So it's and only in some snakes. But I think that the venom is in a way more powerful since it's essentially like injected. So I think that it depends, like I said, it like depends on the poison, but that venoms are probably much stronger and more immediate in their like effects that they have.
Good. We have time for maybe one more question before we have to go on. Sumvith.
Just a quick clarification. What does exactly mean if a neurotoxin is presynaptic? Like, what is the definition of that?
Well, like in the body there's the presynapse and the postsynaptic nerve. So in that like gap, that's where those transmitters, that's where those like the signals transmitted. So it goes across that synapse or the gap. So there's the presynaptic and the postsynaptic. So like the venoms can affect the presynaptic or the postsynaptic, and that will inherently like correlate with the effect that it has on the body.
Olivia, I have a quick non-appropriate question. It looks like the snake in this picture is trying to drink a shot.
Oh no, yeah, that's like they're extracting the venom.
Yeah, I know. I'm teasing. All right, Margaret, do you have time to ask your question while we switch back to? Actually, we're getting ready to do your presentation, so maybe we should. Just looking at the clock, if I don't do your presentation, we're going to be in trouble. So, can we all go to fluoridation, please? And let me know when you are loaded up and ready to go, everybody. So I'll give thumbs up because I'm good to go. Olivia's good. Texas, is that a thumbs up? All right, good. Texas, all right. Nashville, Tennessee, you guys are good. Olivia looks good. And so that should be everyone. Okay, so again, I'll mute my mic. We'll all start simultaneously and enjoy this. So this is the fluoridation of water by Margaret McGuire. 3, 2, 1, start them up.
McGuire, and today I'll be talking about the fluoridation of water.
All right, thank you. Let me stop that. Stop. Be quiet. So, sorry, our first question for Margaret is coming from, I got to get my notes. Who's asking a question for Margaret?
I am.
Okay. Casey, please go ahead. Thank you.
That was a great presentation, Margaret. It was actually really interesting. I thought the communist plot was really funny. Funny is maybe not the right word, but you know what I mean. And my question for you is, do you know approximately what % of the U.S. population has access to fluoridated water?
Okay, yes. I think this is actually in the map from the beginning. 1 second here. So, anywhere from like 60 to 80%, I would think. Let's see. Yeah, so definitely over 50%, but probably closer to 60 to 80. I don't have the exact number. And I think that's because it probably varied from website to website that I saw.
That's what I found.
Okay.
Approximately 60%. So that's right.
Okay, good. Thank you for that. Who else has got questions for Margaret? All right, so let's see. Chad.
No.
Joel.
No. How?
All right, I got to work on this. All right, Joel, I apologize.
We've been wearing different colored shirts
I know,
today.
right? I need you guys to wear a big name tag. All right, Joel, go ahead.
All right, so you talked about like the negative health effects of over fluoridation, like on your teeth. Are there any negative health effects of like ingesting it? Because I feel like the water we drink, most of it doesn't make that much contact with our teeth. Most of it's like just going into our stomach. So like, are there any effects from that?
Yes, there are. I guess a lot of the web pages that you run into say like, well, fluorine doesn't cause cancer, so it's fine, but that's not necessarily the case. There's actually a condition called skeletal fluorosis, which actually in developing countries produces these really weird, like curved bone structures. So if you've ever Googled it, you'll see all these little like African kids with their knees are like all buckled and weird looking. It's really really weird. But I think that's just something, I don't know if that is a problem with, I think, ingesting too much fluorine as a child. I think that's when skeletal fluorosis really becomes a problem, because then after that, the bone is already set in place. As an adult, there's no way to reverse that. So I think skeletal fluorosis is probably the other most problematic disease that can come from ingesting too much fluoride. Because I agree with you, it seems strange that it's not like you swish, the liquid that you drink from your tap water. So it's an interesting question.
Willie.
So the water that you, like bottled water, is that fluoridated or is it just the water that you drink from the tap?
It's a good question. Mr. Walker asked me this too in an email, so I do have the answer to that. It depends on the brand of bottled water. So most bottled water does not have significant amounts of fluorine in it. So anything that's listed as deionized, purified, demineralized, distilled, all of those have fluoride values that are less than like 0.11 parts per million. And so basically it kind of depends on which brand you're talking about, but for the most part, they don't have a significant amount of fluorine in them.
Good question. Samvit.
Going to time marker 31, 0 minutes 31 seconds, I look at the map and I realize that Gabon versus Japan with regards to fluoridation amounts. To clarify, does that suggest anything about water filtration practices? Or like, I don't know, what does that say?
I don't think I understand the question. Could you say it again?
Okay. Looking at the map, I noticed that Gabon has a very high concentration of fluoridated water compared to a country, say, like Japan. On the contrary, Japan is, at least overall a far more well-developed country with regards to water cleanliness. Does that say anything between the two countries about how they filter their water?
Yeah. I think it's difficult to tell from this map whether people are consciously fluoridating their water or whether they are just drinking water that happens to be more fluoridated naturally. So it's hard to say if sort of the awareness of the country reflects whether or not they fluoridate their water. I don't know if that's answering your question, but yeah, I would say that some of the countries that are more developing, maybe in Southern Africa, may just have more fluoridated water because they aren't using sort of proper water treatment practices, which is why you see kids with skeletal fluorosis in those areas. Does that address your question?
Yeah, kind of. It also somewhat addresses the question. Like, to clarify, is fluoridating water a total replacement for water filtration?
No, it's not. Definitely not. I mean, there are a lot of different processes in water filtration. Some of them are a little bit more cosmetic, like they'll put some kind of powdered carbon. There's a reference here about different things that go on at the filtration plants, but they remove different things like phosphates. They put carbon things in, filter out. You have to go through this whole sedimentation process. So definitely not a replacement for just water treatment in general.
Maurice.
Hi, Margaret. So, do systems like reverse osmosis or carbon filtration, do any of those take out the fluorine in the water?
Yes, reverse osmosis definitely does remove fluorine from water.
All right, thanks.
Yeah. Chandler.
Kind of touching on, once again, coming up with the values for how much fluorine to include in the water. Do you know what sort of like tests were run to determine that value, or is it just more of looking at various populations and if they have adverse health effects from the water once they drink it?
Yeah, that's a good question. I did not dig that deeply into the research. I know that there's a research study that's been going on for like 20 years in Michigan, in Grand Rapids, I think. I don't know exactly what they've been doing. I think they've just been doing a lot of longitudinal studies where they're sort of sampling the dental health of children in areas that have introduced fluoridated water. But I don't know how they're researching to find out exactly what concentrations to use. I think that that's probably a lot of why I think that research is not always very clear, and that's why there's a lot of debate about whether or not fluorine's good to put in the water in the first place. So yeah, I didn't dig too deeply into the literature as to how they figured that out.
So I can see that Willie has his hand up. If anyone else does at Fort Worth, I can't tell because your screen is getting small and you guys are, the smallest people I can see. So Willie, go.
Oh, when did the U.S. start to fluoridate their water?
Oh, that's a good one.
I'm not trying to stop you. I'm just curious. It's been around for a really long time, right?
Yeah.
Actually.
I know it must be before Dr. Strangelove, so I don't know.
Somebody Google that real quickly.
I imagine it would be something.
I have it pulled up and
Google it for us, Casey.
They've been fluoridating the water.
Okay. Do you have it?
No,
Casey,
I don't.
go ahead, Casey.
In 1945, Grand Rapids, Michigan adjusted the fluoride contents of its water and became the first city to implement community water fluoridation. And then by 2008, more than 72% of the U.S. population. By 2008, a lot of the U.S. population, a lot of cities began fluoridating their water. So
thank you for that.
I was asking because it's been around for 65 years. So have there been any long-term studies that kind of prove that maybe it's not healthy for us, or does everyone seem to think that it's pretty good?
As I mentioned, I think that Grand Rapids study has shown that it is beneficial. As for studies that show the contrary, I didn't see any, but that doesn't mean they're not out there.
Cool.
Other questions for Margaret? I have a couple, but I want to make sure the class gets their chance first. Margaret, we mentioned cost, just so we get a sense of what it might roughly cost to do this.
Right. So I think the example from Raleigh, they said that they spend like $200,000 on water treatment, but just so you can get a better sense of it, in large communities of like more than 20,000 people, it costs about 50 cents per person to fluoridate the water per year. And so that's like $2 for a family of four, and that they estimate that for every $1 invested to preventative measures in fluoridating water, that produces approximately $38 in savings for dental treatment costs. And then for smaller communities, it's about closer to $3 per year per person to fluoridate water. So yeah, hope that answers the question.
Yeah, I think it answers it very well. Any other questions? Because I've got one more, but I don't want to hog the show here. Margaret, I don't think you mentioned fluoride in toothpaste. Will you address that for just a second? Why do we brush our teeth, and why is that? So I'll leave that question as it is there.
Yeah, I did not go into a lot of detail on that.
So yours was pretty much looking at in drinking water and not any other source then, right?
Yes, it is the fluoridation of water. But I will say, I was talking to my mom about this. We were going on a run. She's like, well, if we're fluoridating our water and too much fluorine is going to be a problem, then is it sort of overkill to both drink fluoridated water, brush your teeth with fluoride toothpaste, and then go to the dentist's office and they do that thing where they actually paint the fluoride directly onto your teeth. Okay. So I'm not sure if all of that sort of builds up over time. Yeah. I suspect that, extended exposure to fluoride through the water is beneficial because it's sort of constant rejuvenation of the fluorine ions in your mouth. I don't know, as opposed to short-term things like brushing your teeth and getting the treatment at the dentist's office.
Okay. Any other questions for Margaret? I have one more, but I don't want to hog the show here. You may have addressed this in your presentation. Do you have a sense of whether if we never drank fluoridated water, if all we did was rinsed our mouth out and spat it out, if that would have the impact, or if it is actually the bringing it into the body? So in other words, if we set up a drip, like you do in the hospital, and so you never had contact with your mouth, do you know if the fluoride coming into your water system that way would work, or if it has to be coming through orally? I don't know the answer. I wonder what you think or what you've seen.
Okay, so the research about my explanation of the sort of chemical basis of fluorine is one that's sort of superficial. The fluorine has to bind to the surface of the teeth in order to get those beneficial effects. So ingesting the fluorine itself there's been a little bit of research about sub-enamel cavities and stuff, like problems with the teeth that actually occur underneath the enamel, but there isn't really any research saying like drinking the fluoride and ingesting the fluoride is not beneficial. It's just the swishing around.
That helps a lot. Thank you. I believe we're going to be out of time in just a few seconds here. I would encourage anyone that's done their project to make sure you're doing the YouTube video stuff. We will pick back up with Monday. Let's give a round of applause for Margaret for her presentation and answers. Good job. Yay. You're done. So I will see you guys on Monday, and have a good weekend, and jump on it. Take care.
Bye.
Good job today, everybody. Take care, Olivia. Good job. See you, Samvith.
All right. So, okay. So on Monday, I'm going to Miami on Monday, and or not on Monday, but okay. I have a field trip to Miami, and I leave Sunday noon, and I come back Monday 4. So because it's a 4-hour trip to Miami, I assume that I'll be on the bus on the way back. So it would
Are you there with classmates and all that kind of stuff?
Yeah, I'll be on the bus with classmates. So I don't know. Should I still phone in, or like what?
So one option would be to do it with headphones, so that your sound is coming in here and you're not being bothered. But also, I think another option, some of it, is just to miss class, and I can send you a recording of it, and you can watch class later when it's more convenient. Because we'll be doing presentations, and it may be weird being on the bus. I'll let you make the decision. You can do either one. Do you have a sense of what you think you'd want to do?
Well, I mean, I really don't like missing class, so I'll try to make it. It'll probably be over phone. It'll be really awkward. But just a clarification of that, even I'll wear headphones, so I won't be bothered by background noise if that happens. But since I have a mic active, then people will still pick up. So
what I think I would have to do is we'd either have to figure out a way to mute your mic, or I don't know. I might be able to mute your mic so that your sound doesn't bother us.
I can mute the mic from my end. My phone can do that.
Yeah. Well, let's do it. Let's do it as an experiment, and if you change your mind, I'll totally understand. Certainly.
All right.
All right.
Yeah, sounds
great.
Good.
Thank you for your flexibility.
All right. Bye.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.